Hello, this is Napoli. Today is the 2nd of January 2021. Hello to everyone. Happy New Year and wish you all the best. Today I'm going to address the topic about fear, because in life you have to fight fear, otherwise fear turned your life upside down. Therefore, you have to face the fear in order to see your plan of 2021. So, about the fear, let's say talking about political fear and also humanitarian fear or human rights fear. I will give maybe two examples of those who are affected by fear. One is refugees affected by fear. For example, refugees are shifting from one country to another because of the certain problem, and some of them they make it to Europe. And when they make it to Europe, they think like, okay, they made it, and they will have whatever they were wishing for, maybe their second chances, or the safety of their life, or further education, whatever. But when they reach Europe, it's not the way they were expecting. It was even worse than that, and then they are occupied with fear, and that fear is dangerous. They damage their life, though they are in Europe. So, for example, the refugees who are making it to Germany, and in the interviews they are asked, how do you come here, instead of what is happening to you? They say, what is, how do you come here in order to deport you? Either deport you back to your country, or they deport you to, the second country. For example, if you come with the airplane, they say you have no economical problem, you have no political problem, so you go straight away to your country, they deport you. And some of them who are making it to, coming through Libya from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, other countries like Nigeria, Mali, they come through Libya, and then from Libya to Italy, then from Italy to Germany. So they see this route and say, okay, first of all, you landed in Italy, therefore you have to be deported back to Italy. And if you make it to, like in Arab world, Asia, other countries, Afghanistan, Syria, they come through Turkey and then to Greece. Therefore, you are deported to Greece because they are not responsible. Germany is not responsible for your asylum. Or you from other African countries, sub-Saharan African country like Tunisia, Morocco, to Spain, and then from there to Germany, you are going back to Spain. So they have two ways: either they deport you to these countries, Italy, Spain or Greece, or they deport you right away to your country. Therefore, the refugees, they have fear, For example, there is no way to stay in Germany. And also in Germany, they say either you are political refugees, you are humanitarian, you are political. Politically, maybe you tell us, if you are for example, in Sudan, you are Darfur, they still say, why don't you go to Khartoum? Because Khartoum is, very near. Why do you make it to Europe? You have to, still from Darfur, you have to go back, So some of the people who make it, they have to live in lies. They have to lie, like, okay, it was this and that. So people live in lies. People live in, wrong identity. Like Nigerian, they say I'm from Sudan because they say Nigerian are economical refugees. They are not, allowed to have asylum, and because it's just they don't risk their life, which means they have to go back. So they have to take the wrong identity in order to survive here, or even the Sudanese people from Khartoum. You can say I'm from Darfur, which you are not, So from other certain areas in Afghanistan, they say it's good, from Afghanistan you can go to another area, you don't have to come here. So that's why few people are here, living in lies, living in this kind of problem underground. And then they give you either the card, and this card you can be identified, by police. So the people are running out from the police. If you see the uniform, you just run away, or you expose yourself because you are in fear. And then you, if you are threatened by deportation, and then you have to maybe live in illegally, live illegally, and you cannot get education, you cannot get work, you cannot get anything. Your life is nothing. So you are walking dead. And these are the problems, that generate the fear. And then in fear you cannot make it. This is one thing. So in this case, we have to stand up and face these fears, face the political system, government system, and face also the police itself. You might have problem, but there is nothing coming without difficulties. We have to face it out. It's not only what I'm talking about, is not only Germany, other countries. Like, for example, in 2017, I was going to France, Italy, for example, other countries, Spain, Greece, Amsterdam, Denmark, Switzerland, all these places, you have a different problem, but the same problem in a different angle, in a different direction. And also I found out that we have a common problems, common deportation. We cannot have access, This is a problem. You live like this for long time, not just long time, months, but you live for years, you get children, and then the children grow up in these camps, either in camp. In other countries like Germany, you can be in camp for 10, 15 years and so forth. In Italy, you can be in the street. In France, you can be in the street. I found people living in the street even worse than what I saw in Africa. This is the fear. So we have to stand and face this with solidarity and the networking. In this case, we can get something. I'm just giving this to refugees who are out there, who are suffering. You cannot hide forever. You must come one day and cry out loud, like, people, this is my problem. The people will take with you, say, there is problem there. But if you keep silent, who know that you have problem? You die with problem, Come out, say your problem, and there are people who are there. European citizens, they will stand with you, Though leave away the right wing and Nazis, I know, but that should not bother us. The people out there, European citizens, they are there. They can stand with us. And we have, access to social media. Please come out and talk your problem. and we can, we can address it. Otherwise, we only imagine, and then the fear control us. This is in, direction of refugees and fear in Europe. And I also said there is political fear, political fear where there is, fear in, let's say, in Arab countries, in Africa, we have a lot of fear. Like, for example, I'm not, from the government. Why not? If you want to be in a government, it's also good, but how do you do that? We are the government, you know what I mean? We, the citizens, are the government. So together we can fight for the safety of the world. So let me just go back that, for example, the African countries, they fear. Fear what? Psychological fear. You have psychological fear. A threat. Like in Sudan, they were threatened. Okay, they blackmail, blackmail Africa that, okay, you have this. If not, and then you have problem. So this is where they succeeded to make us live in fears for years, and then they do whatever they do because it's a power control, like, for example, Western world, I always give example because it is reality. Western world, they only can control you of putting a threat or fear, and then you don't know. For example, South Sudan, the president of South Sudan, Salva Kiir, said, they say in one of the interviews, they said, US said, we should do that, and they were saying this, with their process in the government. And when the interviewers say, why are you saying they, who? You are the government, you are the president yourself, you decide, with your cabinet. Then say, oh no, who told you this? I am just directed by the Western world, which is true. Why do you make your fellow friend fear you and have no voice in his country? And now you are insulting that, South Sudan is a chaotic and they don't know how to. If you put fear on somebody, how that person will be, is a dead, is a living dead. These are the example, and with this example, of course, if one thing like, okay, Patrick Lumumba was killed by Westerners, who was killed? Even Gaddafi, though, was killed by the Westerners through their, Gaddafi people to kill him. And say, these are the people who are not, and etc. Of course, these people, they are bad to you or something like this, blackmailing. That's why we say, okay, if I do that, I will die like Mr. X. If I do that, I will die. How many, leaders and activists who died, in those days when they, carry their voice up. These are the threat, and we cannot keep silent. We have to address, you have to address that, America, stop it. Now they have fear too. Because of fear too, that they will lose their position, they have to have their position that they are the first of, in the world or whatever. I don't understand. They have fear. And with this fear, they can do anything. Now they fear about China. Oh, China is coming up. Even Corona, China bring Corona. China. Now their eyes is in China. You can make it. If China can do it, you can make it too. Russia was the first in the world when, when it was Soviet Union. They were, and now they are not there anymore. It's America. Africa, you can do it. Arab world, you can do it. But I can say, stop this fear. Stop fear and stop everything that you do, Boko Haram. I also address you, Boko Haram. You cannot get out from, killing your fellow people. You, in the name of nonsense, in the name of Quran, whatever, it will not lead you anywhere. Come up, address your problem. You have the problem, address it. Whatever the people who have problem, you cannot get out. Sit with your fellows, Even in the family, we have problems, right? We have problems, but we sit down and we have to address in order to live. This world is like one family who have problem. We don't want to kill ourselves, but we have to solve the problem. Let us be in solidarity and solve the problem. America, I love you very much, but the system you are going to is not helping any one of us. Arab world, I love you too, but the way you are doing is not good. Come down from there in order to get through. Africa, come down from all what you are doing, corruption or whatever. When you are in the power, you have to crap it before you get down, because if you get down, you cannot get it again. You have to eat it. That will not, because the money, you take it by force, the money which is not belong to you, it will not last long. Even if you have so many cars, so many airplanes, so many will crash in one day. And you will only live with bad names. Calm down. And others, Asia, calm down. There is no competition. It is a life, competition of life. Everybody wants to live a good life. And we have enough in this world, right? We have enough for everyone. Let us share. Let us live in solidarity. Solidarity is the best way. Because today is yours, tomorrow is mine. Then I have somebody who can, be with me in solidarity. The world be in solidarity. For example, with Sudan, South and North, the big Sudan. Help Somalia. Help Africa. Help Latin America. Even in America, there are people in suburb or even there is not good area at all. People are marginalized. Help that people, And I'm addressing every one of you from Boko Haram, from whatever Al Qaeda, if whatever the outlaws, they now call themselves outlaws. You are outlaws. It is necessary to have laws sometime to guide us, every one of us. This is 2021. Every one of us calm down, solve the problem in solidarity. Calm down. We will live long. Otherwise, we die artificial death.